Hello.
Hi. Hi, Andrzej.
Hi, Adam. Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew, and I'm Chief Revenue Officer at RealEye. I'm here today with Adam, and we're really excited to be with you. So Adam is CEO of RealEye. Probably some of you already know him. For those who don't, Adam is serial entrepreneur and founder with a tech background. Um, Adam, when preparing to this meeting, I had a thought. Basically, I started my career at 2009 at Group M, which is WPP company, so one of the biggest advertising company in the world. It was 14 years ago, and one of my first tasks was to make a campaign for Facebook. This was so Facebook campaign. I had a budget of $2,000 that I was supposed to spend in 1 month, and you know what? I failed. So I couldn't spend that budget during a whole month. Obviously, there were less users at the time, but I was thinking what was the main reason for that, and I checked the numbers now, and I discovered that Facebook grew 10 times in terms of user base. But what struck me even more that it grew 150 times in terms of revenues. So on average, Facebook user brings to Meta 15 times more cash now than it was 14 years ago. We're living in a space where we're bombarded with ads all the time in all different channels and sources. And I'm wondering what's the right metrics that marketeers should look at? Is it viewability? Is it attention? What do you think?
Yeah, sure. So, from my point of view, from my perspective, there's a new buzzword that just came out some years ago, and it's called attention. And it's not only a buzzword because actually, attention is kind of like the new metric, new holy grail of a metric that gives information about what people are actually paying attention to while interacting with something. So it's not only clicks, but it's also this unconscious behavior of seeing something, noticing something. There's also saying that if you interact with a brand, that if a brand wants to be trustful, or if someone is going to use a brand, then this person, he or she, will need to interact with the brand for at least, I don't know, 10 times or something like that. And by interaction, I mean not, I don't know, clicking in the advertisement, but also seeing the advertisement, seeing the logo type somewhere, seeing it on the billboard, seeing it on the online, being presented with the TV commercial. So basically, any type of interaction builds, let's say, like a relation with the brand, builds some trust. And it's important to measure not only how many times people clicked in the advertisement, but also how many times people have noticed the advertisement. Do they recall, or maybe they don't recall this brand or this product yet, but somehow in the unconscious level, when they go to store next time and they'll see this particular product, then they are going to choose it, because somehow subconsciously they are going to recall, they're going to remember that they already trust the brand, they've seen it, they've seen someone drinking it on the street, or things like that. So it's not that easy thing to measure, Andrzej, the attention. Therefore, it feels like there are several approaches of measuring that. And obviously we're based on our company is based on eye tracking metrics. So we're measuring how eyes are interacting, how people are interacting with stimuli with their eyes. So we are basically trying to measure attention by eye movements of panelists.
Cool. Maybe we can show our platform right now. What do you think?
Yeah. So actually, this webinar title is about testing live websites. We called it with 100 plus panelists. So the idea here is that maybe I'll just do a short introduction of what we would like to show you today. So I don't know if you're already familiar with our platform, but basically it allows running online research with webcam-based eye tracking. And as an outcome, customers, you can easily see what people were paying attention to on different types of stimuli. Either these are images, videos, website mockups, screen recordings, or anything. But there was always a need to do the analysis also on live websites. And it was actually enabled to do the analysis on live websites, but only for individual respondents, meaning that if I was interacting with I don't know, Facebook page and Andrzej was interacting with Facebook page, the data could not be combined because both of us would see something different, and it's really hard to aggregate when when the bottom line is different for different for different panelists. So what we've recently developed is a special, let's say, special module called live website testing, and I'll be happy to show it to you right now. So let me start by sharing my screen. And for those of you who are not familiar on how eye tracking tests are being handled on our platform, I'll just take part in such a study with my webcam, actually the same webcam that I'm using for this conversation. Okay, just a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the study very quickly. So it supports webcam-based eye tracking by enabling it in the study settings. And once it's done, I'll just use the link for the study. So you can imagine that right now I'm a panelist, and I just got this link from I don't know, email, from panel provider, from any other internal or external, let's say, providers or tools. And I'm going to participate in the eye tracking study as a panelist. I'm going to change my camera to the different one and start the test. So the test starts with the calibration. The calibration is a process that allows our system to learn how a panelist's face and eyes look like when they are looking at different parts of the screen. This process is happening on 3 different backgrounds. Actually, the lighting is very important here, and the monitor itself is pretty intensive source of a light, so we are making calibration on 3 different lighting conditions. So once the calibration is done, you will see the next step, which is a calibration check. So I will be asked to destroy 4 dots just using my eyes, and if I'll be able to do that, I'll be fast forwarded to the test itself. So these are the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my mouse is here. I'm just looking at the dot.
That's super cool. Every time that I see it, I'm amazed.
Yeah, we get that pretty often. Even we observe some panel, let's say panelist discussions in different channels, like Reddit, for instance, and panelists are also kind of like writing to each other, like, "Hey, we really like this platform for webcam eye tracking, where the dots are kind of like popping up." Okay, so what happened right now is I moved my head too much, so I'm being asked to go back to the previous position. So that's what I did, and the test starts. So please look at the following materials. The test starts, and what I'm going to see is an actual living website. So this is a website. It has several different elements. It has some gallery, it has some carousels, it has some pop-ups, it has some videos. The videos can be sticky, not sticky. So basically, this is a whole interactive page that can be navigated. This page has some sub-pages. So everything is a live, let's say, HTML based stimuli. And this is actually our demo page to demonstrate also how to attach a real eye script to your existing page. So basically, while we're here, I can just show you that it's all matter of injecting this little script into the HTML website. Probably, if you're familiar with HTML, or you have some internal developers, you can ask them to do it pretty easily. And also, what the next thing that they will need to do, or you need to do, is to mark areas of interest on the website that are relevant to you by giving them area of interest names.
Maybe I'll just add one more thing. I used to run a company that was doing some MarTech solutions, so also in, let's say, marketing technology space. And this was something that we did quite often. So the users that, or the customers that wanted to use our tool, they needed to inject a JavaScript code on their website, and like normally this was a process of 5 minutes for smaller companies, and for bigger, where it's more bureaucracy, it could last 1 week, but it was fairly easy and doable. So that never was a problem.
Yeah, that's what we hear from our experience and from our customers. Maybe it's also important to underline that, of course, Facebook is not going to add the script like that, but we observe more and more companies that are creating HTML mockups that basically are representing Facebook feeds, YouTube feeds, TikToks, any other, let's say, platforms that they wish to test, but not only social platforms, also e-commerce. So for instance, Amazon.com pages, product pages, they're simply creating the pages by themselves. These companies are creating those mockups by themselves and simply attaching scripts to test it for a variety of reasons.
Adam, we have a question that maybe we can answer right now.
So if I understand correctly, for the test of live websites, we do not need to save images like JPEGs of each page, but we just use the links to the HTML. And that's exactly right. So if I would need to go a bit more deeper and technical, let me just go to the study setup. So the study that I have just participated in feels something like that, that there are the pages that are under the tests are, let's say, mapped into JPEGs, but these JPEGs are being let's say, added to the website automatically, added to Relay automatically. And all these areas that are, for instance, marked right over here, they are combined with these divs element on the web page. So for instance, right here we have an arrow of interest right here, let's say, on this image. And this arrow of interest has its own name, and the same name needs to be, so it's probably content right, or okay, so this is this arrow of interest. And on the page that we are testing, it's important that this particular element in its HTML construction should have a special tag called data RE, arrow of interest name, and that should be the same name of the arrow of interest that is on the that is presented here on the arrow of interests.
I think that was even slightly too technical even for me. So, but if I understand correctly, like when you do want to do such test, you need to have HTML website and just add our JavaScript code with and tag some of the divs or elements on the website that you want to analyze afterwards. So pretty much that's it.
Yes. I can see that we have another question from Luis. It's not clear to me. If you want to evaluate a website from third party in which we can't have access and we are not able to include any code, this function does not work. And yes, that's correct, Luis. So this you need to have access to the website to inject the script and mark some HTML tags. So this is kind of like the middle solution in between launching study on a third-party website like Amazon.com. So for sure, probably none of the, just several companies will have access to such an option to inject scripts into Amazon.com. But as mentioned previously, we observed that there's a need on the market, and there's actually a solution on the market already that companies are creating their own mockups of Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, Twitters, and making some market research tests basically on the mockups. And this is the solution for testing these types of websites built by their company, by these companies, or based on the mockups that they're building. Okay. So what I also wanted to show you on the presentation, let me go back to my screen to give you like the biggest win here. What is the most powerful thing about this this SDK is that till now, as mentioned at the very beginning, we could only achieve individual panelist results if we were testing live websites, or aggregated if we're testing on images. But in this case, since we are using these HTML markups, then we can get all the aggregated data based on all the panelists. So as you can observe here, these are some heat maps created based on 12 panelists, and they are being aggregated onto a single image screenshot, but based on the positions of the area of interest on the actual HTML page. So that means that if someone, no matter the device, was paying attention to this element, to this content marked on the under area of interest right now, it's combining all the results. And I intentionally said that without any information about, without any, let's say, there is no matter what device people are using, it is going to aggregate it anyway. So no matter if this page was displayed on a tablet or on the mobile phone, smartphone, or a computer, all the aggregation will happen correctly, and the aggregated data will be pushed into, let's say, one single spot, one single layout, one single canvas to do the data analysis. And this is actually the beauty of it, that there is no need to struggle with different devices and different browsers, different resolutions. It is all going to aggregate immediately, no matter the device.
So that's fascinating to me, because like on desktop, the page looks often very differently, and with web responsive design, then the layout is totally different. And even though we capture what the person is looking at the moment and then aggregate it, so I think that's worth remembering.
Yeah, that's actually one of the biggest wins and one of the biggest gains of using this method instead of doing the mockup based research, like images based mockup research or live website research that is limited to screen recordings. Okay.
Cool.
Andrew, do we have any other questions maybe from audience? So I
yeah,
can
we had one about mobile, but I think we already answered it. So basically, yes, it can be used on mobiles. We often get questions about pricing, but before we go with the pricing, maybe I'll let you know about our offer that we have for case studies. So basically, we have an offer for free case study on Real-i. So for those of you who are not sure how it works and would like to make a case study, even internal case study that could be used then for selling to other customers, we're ready to give you a 2 months license with up to 200 panelists. So you can conduct such a study. It may be for ad testing or maybe for UX testing. So it's up to you. So this is one way of starting the journey and the adventure with Real-i. The other would be our pricing. So the basic pricing starts from $250 per month. That's for business, and for academic, it's even cheaper. So that's where it starts. And like if you have some doubts about it, please reach out to us.
Okay, cool. So I'm getting a query here to show a bit more about how to create such a study. So let me just guide you very quickly on how to actually, since this module is available for anyone who already have the license, it can be either a free trial license or any other license, then perhaps I can just guide you quickly on how to get such a study running. So the study
Okay,
is
so
called...
one point thing that you mentioned, and I think it's crucial. So for the new ones, you can simply sign up and go with a free trial, and that's always a point to start with. So if you're not sure if it's something for you and you want to see what the features are, I think the free trial is where most of our customers start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks for underlining that. I think that's pretty important that we have kind of like pretty open policy that first test the platform and then make your mind whether it fits your needs or not. Okay. So to create such a study on live website, you just need to choose the embedded website type of a study, which is right over here under new study button. And the system is going to ask you for some study settings. And these are the basics. So which devices you'd like to invite your panelists, like let your panelists from, some additional settings for the study itself. I'm not going to spend much time about it. Perhaps I'm just going to tell you that there is an option to integrate it with some external tools into an external service to connect with some longer, let's say, research. But let me just jump to the next step that actually shows how to add the new module. So the website's tests can be also combined with images and videos. So we can think of it that you can create a study flow that shows panelists an image and then a video and then another image and then a website and then another image and so on. So this is kind of like a new stimuli type of a new stimuli type. And what is required is to add the URL of the page that you would like to test. So in this case, I'm just going to add this website that I have just presented to you earlier. So this is a website that has two sub pages and several active elements. So again, this can be anything. This can be a mock-up of a website. This can be a live blog or any other or an e-commerce shop. So once the study is loaded, the important thing is that you will need to map this area of interest as presented. So right now the study is ready to go. I'm running the study. And before sending the link to my panelists, I need to map these areas of interest. So again, I'm going to the heat maps dashboard and mapping the areas of interest and giving them the name, content right, for instance, and content left. And just for the demo purpose, I'm going to make more of them. And these names need to correspond with these HTML blocks that have these data tags attributes that you'll need to implement on your website to stream the data from these particular divs, no matter how they are being displayed, one under another or one above another. For instance, if this is a mobile page, then they are going to be displayed differently than in the in the desktop page. But everything what happens within these areas of interest, within these div elements, is going to be streamed directly to this one, let's say, canvas image. And that's basically it from the technical point of view. Andrzej, I don't know if you have any questions, or let's just see if any other questions appeared. Thanks, Luis.
Nice. Thanks, Luis. We had one more question from Davide about what I was saying. So basically, yes, we have a program for free license for RealEye to make a case study. So the idea here is that for you to start using new software, it requires like leap of faith. So you need to try it. You need to see that it works. You need to invest your time. So we want to make it as easy for you to start the journey with RealEye. So we're willing to give you free license at the beginning. So you can make a case study that can be like for internal use, but it can be for even commercial use. That's okay with us. The only requirement on our side is that we would like to be able at the end when you create the case study to also show it to our customers and to those who would like to use RealEye, and just to show them what the platform is capable of, and also to show what kind of different case studies our customers do. So that's the whole idea. And if you're interested, please visit the website that was shown, or simply contact us and we'll guide you. Okay, I see no more questions. So thanks, Adam, for this talk. I think
Thank you, Andrzej.
It was super cool.
Thanks, Andrzej.
See you next
Thanks,
time.
everyone. Bye-bye.